Geekdom!
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode for Gluttons for Geekdom. I'm Nick James.
I'm Bobby Deuce.
I'm John.
And today we have a special guest with us, old friend of both Mr. Bobby Deuce and John Boy. I just met him tonight. Awesome guy. We have Mr. Rick here tonight.
Hi, how are you?
So we're just going to jump right into it. Before we started this, we watched episode 7. Yes, guys, we are going to have a Star Wars episode.
Our first Star Wars episode.
One more than 6, one less than 8.
Very good, John.
We're not sure when or how we're going to get from 1 to 6. I kind of want to go backwards. I brought that up the other night. That
Just
might be fun.
backwards,
yeah.
movie by movie.
Yeah, not in release
that'd be
date,
cool.
but an actual chronological. So do episode 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think that'd be cool, and then this way
I'm down.
It would honestly save the worst for last,
Mm-hmm.
because we could probably get to episode 2 and when it's time to watch episode 1, just go, you're really lucky Liam Neeson's in this, guys. Really lucky.
Really lucky.
Because everybody loves the Jar Jar jokes, and
Roger.
yeah.
Roger.
But no, we're on number 7, so what we're also going to do in the background is just have it playing again to keep an ongoing look. So right now, as we had it going, we went through the scroll and everything, and first to bring up is that when you guys were watching this, how did you feel it started and there was no 20th Century Fox before the galaxy long, bump, bump, bump.
It's never a thing for me, the 20th Century Fox.
Yeah.
It just...
I always feel like every movie, I expected at the beginning of everything. It's either that or Miramax or something.
Yeah.
Or the Universal thing. It's just
Another thing.
Yeah, just part of just shooting up the beginning of a movie. The movie doesn't start until the movie actually starts, in my opinion.
I didn't actually even notice that it was missing until you said it, and now I was like, that would have been nice. Yeah.
Well, now Disney owns it. That's why the Fox isn't going to put them out anymore. So yeah, out of the 7, this is the first one not to do that, and I don't think I noticed either. I think I picked it up from another podcast I listened to, and then when I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, it is kind of, yeah. Now that you know that it's not there, you could see that it's missing, but if you didn't know beforehand...
if anything, I would have to go back and watch another Star Wars movie that actually has it in the beginning and then see how I
Just to
feel.
get it, yeah.
Honestly, because if I hadn't noticed it up until now, then I'm probably not going to give a fuck about it.
Yeah. We went through the opening crawl. Of course, they do that because it's a very good Star Wars movie. You can't start Star Wars without a crawl.
Did anybody cut you off? Did anybody feel did it make you feel really bad when they grabbed the alien? At the very beginning, the stormtroopers are there just fucking shit up. It just happened right there. They grab the alien, they turn him around, and he's just shrieking his ass off as they're just... I'm like, oh no, don't hurt him. Don't hurt him.
Yeah, no. The stormtroopers are not clones this time. They're not clone troopers, and they're not whatever they had in 4, 5, and 6. What were they?
I think they're still clones of
Were
Jango.
they in clones in 4, 5, and 6? I don't really get how that whole thing
Well,
was.
I think if anything, because they were fighting a war, after a while, they're just going to start having their clones die off, and what they're doing is it was from childhood, from birth, they're just taking kids and just training them to be
That's what they do in this one?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I was completely confused when Finn takes off his mask because I'm like, wait a minute, you're not Jango Fett.
You're not, yeah.
But I was not expecting that at all. It was not explained.
And he's snatching their people.
Nice.
Sean Gluttonous.
So yeah, we could just go right in. They do the crawl. We're on Jakku, and it's the first time that we see these stormtroopers. And we're about to get our first look at Kylo Ren. And he's no Vader. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But what were you saying earlier? We needed something new because 1, 2, and 3 swayed the view of Vader.
Right, yeah, they definitely, I thought he was the greatest villain of all time. When I was a kid, I only, the original 3 movies were the only 3 movies that were out. And then the first 3 movies completely ruined my perception of what Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker. I was so intrigued to see what was going to happen that made him into Darth Vader, and I was like, oh.
That was not what I expected at all.
Yeah.
Whiny bitch.
What?
Whiny bitch.
Yes, that's a good way to say it.
Yeah, but the one thing that I bring up too
Sasuke Uchiha.
is that Luke is a bit of a whiny bitch as well. He just overcomes it. I was hoping to go and get some power converters down at the spaceport. I don't want to stay here and get the water out of the land. Like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, he was whiny too.
Bitch.
Yeah, so...
Maybe because we didn't get to see him pod race as a 6-year-old, it wasn't as bad.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's actually Clerk's cartoon. He put somehow Steven Spielberg and George Lucas on trial for it, a bunch of their movies, and the defense is like, episode 1 sucked, and the defense goes, wait, pod race was kind of cool.
I really like that this movie starts off and just gets right into the action. No bullshit, no like storyline build up. In fact, they're just like, we're not going to explain everything. Just let's go.
Let's
right?
start.
Yeah.
And the scene on right now, it's really cool. Have we ever seen the Force stop a blaster?
No, it's actually the first time. The only other time where you see someone using the Force to fuck with blasters when Vader just rolls up into Cloud City. He's like, nope, sorry, boom, blocks that shit with his hand.
Point,
That was
Empire,
it. Yeah.
That's really good.
I like when it finally, like, after they're done with the conversation, that thing's just been hanging there, you kind of forget about it, and then boom!
It just continues, like he walks away.
Yeah.
Like, it speaks volumes about Kylo Ren's power and the Force. So, like, it was, wow, this guy's powerful in the Force, because doesn't even look like he's trying to hold it there anymore. Then he bounces and...
Yeah. He put it on pause in the back of his mind.
But then, but that's only going to lead to further on down the movie during the lightsaber fights, where I'm just going to be like, I call bullshit. But we'll touch upon that when it comes.
Now, in terms of that, I want to actually touch upon it a little bit right now. I saved my contention because I wanted to get it fresh on the podcast. The scene that just happened. So, Phasma gets everybody together and she's like, fucking kill him. They're in a circle and all the stormtroopers are just firing into the circle. And you see Finn before we know it's Finn and he's not doing it. The fucking killing's done and Kylo Ren looks at him. And it's like this weird kind of like,
Lance.
what happened? Did he, like, we don't know? That's my opinion of The Force Awakening. I think Finn is somehow a Jedi.
I could see
And
that.
through all the bullshit of just like, no, I'll go along with this. I'll kind of go with this. All right, this is fine. Like, finally got to this point of, this is bad. And had that Force Awaken. I don't think it's about Rey. I think that the whole movie they try to get you going back and forth. Who's the Jedi and not? Because on the box, I think he's holding the lightsaber.
He uses it in the
And
movie.
she has
Yeah.
her staff, so it's kind of like, and he uses it in the movie. So you're going to say, if Kylo Ren is this powerful, to hold this blaster, not think about it, why doesn't he just fucking slash Finn's head off right at the very end of the final battle? I think somehow it's going to turn out he is also a Jedi.
But with the whole thing that I'm getting at, even regardless of whether or not he is a Jedi or he can use the Force, you see Kylo Ren do some amazing shit with the Force, things that we've never seen done in a Star Wars movie before. Both Rey and Finn don't know how to fight with a lightsaber. They haven't been through training. Kylo Ren has supposed to have been going through training. The big, giant, fucked up face alien guy is like, oh, let's just take him back to finish his training. So now we come to this point right here where he's fighting these two people right there, and he's getting hurt while he's fighting.
Yeah.
They use the Force to fight with lightsabers, and somehow he can't hold his own against someone who's just picked up the lightsaber for the first time, and someone who's just picked the lightsaber up for the first time and is now starting to learn how to use the Force.
Well, I mean, he took out Finn eventually.
After taking some hits, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then
But he was already hit going into that as well.
I don't think that really should have made a difference.
I think
If
maybe
he-
he
if
was
he-
trying to use
outside.
like the Force to heal himself, or to like, so his mind is kind of distracted or something.
But I mean, like, you see him walking around, and he's not really like, he's over here just sidestepping slashes and doing all this other stuff, but he can't close. He can't close the deal in that fight.
Call.
It's interesting. The only reason why I don't think Finn is a Jedi is because we were talking about it through the movie. I was like, how maybe he will become a Jedi, but like they kind of make him look weak, where he constantly needs to be saved by somebody else. You know what I mean? And it almost makes them look like the stormtrooper training is not very good. That they're all like bumbling idiots. You know what I mean? Like he constantly needs to be rescued. Like he does some brave stuff, but he's always getting himself into trouble. You know?
I would have just talked myself into a circle at that point, and the fact that, well, he's a stormtrooper. Maybe somehow he got some sort of sword play just in very fucking case. we're going to teach you the very basics of what to do with a saber.
They did teach that one guy how to use that
Stick.
fucking electromagnetic fucking tonfa.
That shit was pretty sick.
And it's made to deflect lightsabers.
Yeah.
They had some sort of training somewhere in their program.
So maybe that's it. But then, like, you know, Rick's saying, it's like, why does he need to be saved all the time? Like, he should just know what to do.
He's a
Right.
fucking soldier and he doesn't act like it.
Yeah.
Also, the scene that just came up where we first meet Rey. She goes out of the what is it, that Star Destroyer, was that one?
The
That
giant
was?
straw, yeah.
Yeah, and she slides down the sand. I'm just thinking, like, why don't you? I just turn around and like go back up and just yay.
Well, the first walk up to him must have sucked.
Sand
That's
sledding.
probably when she
yeah.
set up the slip.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
not
not spice.
tumbling down that.
When she was looking for the parts in the thing, was she spelunking? Like in Batman, space?
Yeah.
Was she space jumping? Because
Pretty
I was
much.
like, that excuse, it's valid here. Get her a bat suit.
I think that Daisy Ridley, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
We haven't gotten to any of the lines that really stepped out. That as we watched it, you know, especially the Luke Skywalker. Why, she nails this part. This movie would not be what it is without her in it, for damn sure. And for me, carries the whole thing because I really do love her. You know, the same way growing up with like Luke and Han and stuff. I was a little kid, so making that connection of these are my friends. I like these guys. I love them. It's just very easy, you know. It's just those are the guys after school. Put in the tape like these are my friends. So as an adult, to try to hook somebody into a relationship in a movie, it's really hard. Not for this, not for Daisy. Nope, she got me right in, and I was just like, I like Rey. I am rooting for her this whole fucking time.
Well, she makes you feel like it's on a journey,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what the like pretty much most of the Star Wars movies are. Like Luke, he just finds out about this like one thing. It's like, okay, now it's time for me to go on a journey to become like a fucking Jedi.
I like where she
This could be
lives
the
too.
second movie.
Yeah.
Because right now she's like, you know, so used to this world, she doesn't want to leave it.
Yeah.
But she's expecting someone to come back. I think the second one she'll be more open to the whole adventure aspect.
And I like her Rebel Alliance helmet
Yeah.
while we're on topic.
Well, I love
Yeah,
that she lives in an AT-AT as well. Because
Yeah.
up until the Rogue One trailer, we had never seen an AT-AT, well, until this too, not in snow.
True.
So now we see one laying down in sand, and then in the Rogue One trailer, you see one walking around not in snow, and you're like, I always thought those were just for snow. I don't know why I never thought it could walk on sand or regular earth. I was like, no, AT-ATs are for snow.
It's
They
like, this is
whiz
actually the
around.
second time that we were watching this today. We watched it the first time just to refresh ourselves, and we commented the first time like her just putting on that helmet and living in an AT-AT was just it's kind of fucking adorable.
It's adore. That's the perfect word. And she sits there and she just licked her plate clean and puts it on. And she's just sitting like, oh wow.
And it doesn't fit
I've been
right.
sitting here for 17 years, but still some reason I'm sitting here with a smile. I'm like, this is new.
It doesn't fit right, so she's looking around and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's all like just jostling and
That
shit.
was probably that pork pie one's hat from that fat guy's. What was his name? Pork something? Like Porker, or there was something to do with pig product in his name.
I don't think there was any pig product in her quarter portion.
No.
Nice.
So this is where we see more BB-8. He's the new droid.
Yeah.
And in this, we didn't, like, they had to come up, because R2 is the only part of the pre-trilogy that's really still good. I mean, you don't look at him and go, that's not R2. You're like, all right, no. They gave him even more to do, and he could fly and light shit on fire, so if anything, that was something they improved on.
Yeah.
So for this is a big undertaking to introduce a new droid. And if you get the Blu-ray or if it's on the DVD, they show you, like, how they did it and everything. And he is alive. Like, right now, and he was like, hey, can I come with you? And she's like, no, you gotta go this way. And he's like,
But come
and
on.
he's rolling back and forth. But, like, in my head, I could just see the little kid just,
Shaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
like, kind of kicking his foot and looking down. And then, like, he looks up, like, is it working? And it does. Like, come on. He's like, oh, okay, cool. We're gonna go. Like, how do you make a sphere with a little half sphere on top of it so human?
And the half
And
sphere
again,
is like a head. And
yeah.
Gives it extra sass.
Yeah. What you
He goes side to
yeah.
side. He peeks around corners and shit.
It's great. Oh, now we're back. Poe Dameron's getting interrogated by Kylo Ren. Now let's just veer off a little bit. We get to see some awesome Oscar Isaacs in this. We made the joke, why doesn't he just turn his eyes white and become blue and break right out of here? Because if you want to see some good Oscar Isaacs, definitely turn on 7. I wouldn't go to X-Men Apocalypse for awesome Oscar Isaacs, because he pulls it off too. And the line in there, like when he gets taken on Jakku, do I talk or do you talk? Who talks first? I love that. Yeah, his smart ass. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually would have liked to have seen more of him in this movie.
Well, apparently, the more that we got, like after it crash landed on Jakku, that was supposed to be it. And somehow they developed it. They fell in love with him as they were watching what they already cut, and they're like, let's get some more of this guy in here. So that whole scene, like after they're at Maz's and they come and they do their hug.
Yeah.
Their hug.
The Caesar hug.
Yeah, that's not supposed to be there. That's not supposed to be there at all. So I like that we got more of him. And yeah, now he's got himself into 8 and all that. So
it's odd that, because this thing is like, if the way you see him on screen, he's acting like a leading man, but only as a supporting character.
yeah.
So I'm
He
like,
did carry himself well.
I would love to just see like a movie just centered around him, just
Hell yeah.
doing his own shit.
How do you become the best fighter pilot in the Alliance?
I felt bad for him when he was getting mind tortured. I felt like he was a Poe boy, you know?
Oh boy. Yeah. That's a lot of
That's a lot of
rations.
portions
A lot
right
of
there.
portions.
For the droid. She should have taken the portions if they were going to come after her anyway. But
Yeah, really.
No foresight, right, Twain?
But we were saying that big ass guy is actually Simon Pegg. If you don't know who Simon Pegg is, Shaun of the Dead is probably the one that, and he's also has now crossed the lines. Has been in 2 stars. He's been on a Trek and Through the Wars, and he's Scotty, right? Yeah. The other guy's got to check off.
Check off. More J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, that too. We should talk about too. J.J. Abrams directed this, and there is plenty of solar or sun flare in it. Just in case you guys were wondering, because he loves that. That's what everybody was really afraid of. But overall, just to recap it while we're in the middle, I love this fucking movie. We should have started off like.
It's very good.
I don't understand how people had problems with it. Remember when we were in Rogue Comics in Cranford? And the guy came in and he bought like 4 or 5 Star Wars books right off the bat. And they started talking about Episode 7. He's like, no, I didn't really like it too much. And like, I almost dropped the shit like right there. Like, what do you mean you don't like it too much? It's a really good Star Wars movie. It's just...
After having like 3 Star Wars movies back to back that are just lackluster.
Yeah.
Right. Agreed. My only thing, like I was telling you earlier that we were kind of discussing, was that I feel like they copied a lot of elements from the other movies. But it's not bad. It's intentionally, I feel like it's intentionally done that way. It's like, oh, you had these shitty 3 movies in a row. We want to get you right back into this.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is like an old movie.
Like
you know
a
what I mean?
reminder as to why it is.
Yeah,
what
this
it
is why you like Star Wars.
And for little kids to actually get them into it. Like, it's perfect. And we were talking about the similarities. If you watch 4 and 7, we were just seeing a kid left behind on a planet, longing for more, but not sure how to get it, on a dry planet.
Right. With a droid that got sent
Where
down with
the-
plans and is,
Exactly. I mean, so right there, starting off, we can kind of see, yeah, it does follow a plan, but it's a Star Wars plan, so why the fuck wouldn't you want it to follow that?
history repeats itself again and again.
Yeah,
Right?
it's-
So,
Oh, let me get into some really quick. I'll remind everybody later. I just read a Grant Morrison book. It's called Super Gods. Fucking fantastic. But he has this theory that he stole from somebody else, or it's not stole, but how everything just kind of cycles.
mm-hmm.
And if you did the math of what he did when this one came, we're in the same cycle as when 4 came out. So it is kind of like, what a
Interesting.
weird coincidence. Was it or was it not? But yeah. But yeah, I mean, history repeats itself. Everything comes back, and I
Full
mean,
circle. Mm-hmm.
and I think too, now we're in the TIE Fighter, and later on we'll see it in the Falcon, that they use the same graphics for like the
turret.
the targeting system on the turret. It's like, good job, man. You could tell that J.J. Abrams was like us in the fact that came home after school, popped that fucking VHS in, and just, this is the best 3 hours, whatever it is, in my life. I think he pays so much homage and has just so much fucking respect for it.
Unrelated to this specific movie, but when you said that, like, I did have the VHS set. I still have it. And then when they came out with the movies, they re-released them. They like added stuff and changed stuff, and then I have those. But it always bothered me a little bit. A couple of things that they changed. I mean, I get it was better to put like Palpatine's face in Empire Strikes Back, like the real Palpatine. I was like, oh, that's cool. But then I was like, oh, Greedo just shot Han Solo first. Like, what just happened here?
Yeah. So. Something that we'll get in when we get to it. But if you are a Star Wars nerd, I mean, who shot first, Han or Greedo, is one of the longest standing arguments. And I think that a good guy, quote unquote, can shoot first.
I agree.
So I would like to see and own that cut, because I remember I too had the VHSs, and time has taken them. Because one time I wanted to go and see who shows up in number 6 after they burn the Vader body.
Okay.
Anakin Skywalker shows up, and in all the versions I own, it's Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, that's old Annie.
Yeah.
Orphan Annie.
So yeah, in the originals, they obviously couldn't do that. I remember it being like some just plump face, happy dude, just yeah.
I had lots of dental work for this part.
Yeah.
I think another interesting thing about this is like with the new trilogy, the first 3, not the second 3, like I would go back and only watch those just for the lightsaber duels. I would never sit and watch this or any of 4, 5, or 6 to sit back and watch those for lightsaber duels. I'm like, whatever. I would watch them for the story, but as far as him fighting with the swords, nah.
It's rather boring.
1, 2, and 3 just looks really good.
Yeah,
Just no substance.
No substance.
No.
They're beautiful looking. They're beautiful looking. You'd ask, oh, that's what I would actually expect a Jedi to do. Oh,
Yeah, you
that's
can
what a
see
Jedi
every
does when
penny
he,
they spend.
when he fucking fights with a lightsaber and shit.
It was just George Lucas. That's
Yeah.
all.
It's got to be hard though, because hold on, I'm gonna get it off my phone. Would you mind actually tossing me that really quick? Thanks. So, Rick, I'm not sure if you know, but our 5th pillar here is Audible. Do you Audible?
I do not.
No, you should. It's
But
fucking awesome.
It seems like you're going to
I'm gonna pitch
show
something.
me how
yeah.
to Audible. Yeah.
Well, the first thing that I could send you, because right now, guys, if you don't Audible or if you want to get somebody to Audible, you can actually send your first book free. So if you want Audible, I can send you the book that I'm about to talk about.
Okay.
It is called, no, I don't want to download it again, How Star Wars Conquered the Universe. It is written by Chris Taylor, narrated by Nick, how would you say that, John Boy? Podell? P-O-D-E-H-L? Podell? Podell?
Let me see.
Podell?
We'll say Padiddle for now.
Nip it down.
Podell?
Yeah.
Fucking great, guys. Second time I listened to it was not too long ago. I just did it. First time I got it, I was still at the pharmacy, so that was over a year ago. Came out in 14, at least on this, and I mean, it really does talk about how Star Wars took over the universe. Just, you know, not literally, but who can you turn to who hasn't seen Star Wars? And if they haven't seen Star Wars, and you say to them, what do you know about Star Wars? They'll go, well, not much. I just know Han Solo and Luke and Leia and Darth Vader, and Darth Vader's his father, and, you know, there's a little Muppet, and, like, the stuff they don't know goes on and on, because since 1973, Star Wars has just been shoved into the veins of America, and just everybody knows Star Wars. You just have to.
And even with kids these days, they're still pumping out the animated ones. I personally haven't watched the animated ones, but you know they're just trying to keep it relevant.
I've seen a few episodes of Rebels. It's called. My brother-in-law likes it, and I watched a few just to watch, and it was still okay. It was cool. I didn't really know what was going on and who these characters were, but I was there. I rode the adventure for a half
There's
hour.
actually an Audible book that is about Rebels that tells the story of the lead guy. He's I forgot exactly what his job was before. I'm just gonna say he was a smuggler. It was one of those sort of jobs where it tells the story of how he becomes like a sort of Jedi user. Like you could tell in the future because on the cover it shows him with a lightsaber in his hand. So, but he's still rocking around just shooting guns and shit. But it's the story of him beginning out. And I'm like, oh wow, this is pretty good. I need more of this. There's no more because it's a fucking TV show. So like I would like to like watch the show, but I'm afraid it's gonna suck. So I haven't. Even though the story of him getting to that point is pretty good.
Do you want to go through your Audible bona fides really quick when it comes to at least Star Wars? Because not only did I do that one, now Star Wars Conquer the World, Bobby Deuce got me onto the first, because you've done more than me for sure.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, actually, too, while we're on the subject, I did the Force Awakens. They have the Audible version of that, and it gives you a little bit more. It's pretty much the same thing, but again, great listen. And then the one that Bobby Deuce got me on was the Darth Bane trilogy.
Yes.
Word.
So fucking good. Bane, yeah. So
yes.
yeah, all of a sudden. So I think it starts off with Path of Destruction, goes to the Rule of Two, and then Dynasty of Evil. All three were written by Drew. Dang, another hard last name. I should probably prepare these before we start, because this one's going to take a second too.
Perpission.
Are these Sith books that you're talking about?
Are they Sith books, Bobby Deuce?
Yes.
Yes.
That sounds awesome.
They are. So, really quick, I'm just going to go through really awesome points of Darth Bane. If you, do you want to do your bona fides first?
Well, I was actually going to... It's an odd thing. It's an odd, like, turn, because it's about Darth Bane. So he is the protagonist, even though he's a Sith douchebag. So there's a point in, like, I think it's the second one, where they're fighting a bunch of Jedi, and I'm just like...
Kill him.
I'm just like,
I hope he kills every single fucking Jedi, because you're like, you're rooting for him.
Yes, exactly. But also at the same time, it's like, these are Jedi. Kind of like, they're supposed to win, and the way he takes out the last Jedi is he just fucking boom, takes his head off, and I'm like... I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Way betterly than any kind of killing that Anakin Skywalker did.
Yeah. Well, it's like the same thing. Have you ever watched Sons of Anarchy? It's all about a show about drug and gun smugglers. And, like, there's a scene where, like, this criminal is sitting with a DEA agent, somebody who serves America to enforce, you know, to make sure that the streets are safe from drugs and shit. And I'm just like, blow her fucking brains out. Blow her, fuck that person. Like, I shouldn't be, and it's the same thing where it's just like, kill all those Jedi. Fuck yeah, because Darth Bane is bad ass. So when he starts, there's a fuck ton of Sith. Mm-hmm. And the second book is called Rule of Two, and that's, you know, what we learn if you watch number 4, is that there's only two of them. One to have all the power, and one to...
No, it was at the end of number.
At the end of one, they did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd actually like to read the book, A Fuck Ton of Sis, if they made that into a. Back in the day, before the Rule of Two, there were a fuck ton of sis.
Yeah, there's
It's narrated in the South Park voice.
Yoda tell,
Hello, I'm Terrence, and this is Philip.
We're gonna tell you the story of Star Wars, the Rule of Two. Fuck ton of Sith, or whatever the fuck you said. But yeah, at the end of the first one, which is pretty much one of the best things that they probably did aside from Darth Maul, was say like, yeah, there's the Sith that have this one rule. There's can only be 2 of them. The master and apprentice, and Nick, you say the line sort of better than...
Yeah, one to have the power, one to earn for, one to crave it. Thank you, that was the word. And I'm glad you just brought up Darth Maul, because if you think Darth Maul is a badass character, you're going to love Bane. Because Bane just takes that, like, that evilness... It's almost like Darth Maul and Darth Vader put together in a sense of he's cool and evil, but when he attacks, you know, it's not just, it's like boom, boom, like fucking I'm moving.
Like yeah, he's just using like his powers left and right, just really just straight like fucking everybody.
Is he like an anti-hero?
Yeah.
Yeah, anti-hero, because I mean he starts off like he's a brooding character. He's always bigger than other dudes, and like people like get on his case, like pick on him and stuff, and he defends himself.
His name is Darth Bane, but like he's called that because he's the bane of his father's existence. Like, growing up as a boy, that's what his father would say to him. So like right away when you hear that, I think he's some sort of like coal miner, some sort of miner.
Yeah, some sort of miner.
So it's just this big jacked dude.
The black lung pop.
Nice. So when you first hear about him, you just imagine this big jacked dude who has to dig in a mine all day, whose dad has told him since day one, like, fuck you.
all that.
It's like, yeah, he's gonna be a bad guy. So I'm so excited.
He grows up to be. He does grow up to be one of the worst dudes in the.
And one of the coolest things too is, and hopefully you can refresh my memory because I don't remember how they get on him, but there's a scene in either the second one, I think, where he gets these scarab type things on him, these bugs, and they eat at him, and they're supposed to kill him, but since he's a really powerful user of the Force, the first one, he can heal himself as fast as they can hurt him. And then on top of that, why would he do this? They're fucking lightsaber proof. They're magic proof. So the way they describe him is like if you were to take his robe off, it just looks like armor plating of these giant freaking vestigial bugs that have latched onto him and make him so strong. And it's fucking badass.
Impervious, yeah.
I know. You should get on that. Yeah, it is.
That sounds exciting.
It is exciting. They're a great trilogy of books. Now this is what I'm gonna go through my library here. So I have the Darth Bane trilogy. I have Star Wars Darth Plagueis. That's the only
other one I also have in mind.
Yes, that's the guy who trains Darth Sidious to become a Sith. Then I go a little further back. Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's an Old Republic trilogy of books. It's pretty much it's just telling stories from back when there's a shit ton of Sith and a shit ton of Jedi, and they're having their own little war for whatever the fuck is going on.
Supremacy.
Yes, it's
we'll call it supremacy.
Way back when, way back when. So there's that going on. It has if anybody who's actually played the Old Republic video games, it has Darth Revan in it. So I don't know his story far too much, beside from he used to be a good guy, then he turns bad, then he turns good again. So there's that. There's another Star Wars Annihilation, A New Dawn. This is the one that actually has that's actually about the Rebel TV show.
Okay.
So yeah, it has him. Then I went further past the Star Wars trilogy where it's going back. Han Solo and Leia's kid with the Legacy of Evil. This is what I would assume Kylo Ren is supposed to be. He's supposed to be this Darth Caedus who just runs around, trained by Luke, turns evil, and just starts fucking.
That's what happens in this book?
Yeah.
Huh. Because I know that they said once Disney got their hands and they actually bought it for the $4 billion fucking dollars, I think it was. They said that everything that we're talking about right now didn't happen.
That's what pisses me off the fucking most.
Darth Bane
good material.
Could have been somewhere in that universe.
Good material. There's sorry.
Cut him off.
Fuck that.
Nope. Unless it happened in Star Wars episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
So no Prince Ezor either.
So no books, no
Prince Ezor.
No
nothing.
nothing.
Those archives, be like, you know what? We actually like this one. Let's put this live action. So they can do it if they wanted to. Figure out a way to put it into the same universe.
But
that's pretty much how they did with this movie. That was essentially a book that, didn't matter once they bought it, but they liked it and good enough to put it on film.
Yeah, to take the idea further, I guess. And
but
just
it was
not
done
confuse,
better.
Yeah.
Done better in the book, though. The whole thing that the one thing that I didn't like about Force Awakens the most was the fact that it had all the old characters in it.
Yeah.
I want to see something new in the Star Wars universe. It's so huge. Why are they still focusing on these few people?
I agree.
Give me somebody I don't know and have them do something awesome.
I think that was a part of their plan, though, with this movie.
Yeah,
Torch passing.
Yeah, they're interested. Yeah, they're changing the lineup of who's going to be in it, but they killed off.
I don't think we'll see any Leia in the next one. Spoilers: Han dies. I think if anything, it's just going to be. This movie came out so long ago. If you don't know Han Solo's dead, you're probably not even listening to this podcast.
Damn right.
I think it'll be Mark Hamill-centric, and then after that, they're really going to be done with those three.
I didn't feel like they were overly involved, especially, the whole story is about Luke, trying to find Luke, but, he's not in it until the end. Leia and Han are just sprinkled in. It's not it wasn't overkill, but I could see where, you just want the story to focus on the new characters, but I feel like it was to still get the old people, the old fans that may only want to see it just because Han Solo's in it. I'm still going to get my fix of Han.
Yep. And the other thing that you were saying, and to agree with you more, is when you brought up the book Darth Plagueis. In this one, we get Snoke, who's the big hologram guy. And, you know, the internet does what it does. And right after the movie came out, who is he? Is he this guy? Is he this guy? He could be this guy. And a lot of people were thinking it was Plagueis. And thankfully, they denied it. Because I'm with you. Like, how about we just give this guy a whole new story? Like, let's be creative when we write a movie, maybe, and not just steal from shit. Like, I'm happy that it's nobody that we know. I don't want it to be somebody that we know.
I did want it to be Palpy.
Yeah?
I did. I was hoping that somehow that was like old shriveled up Palpatine.
Yeah.
Just back from like communicating
How can you shrivel
from like
up more, though?
I mean, he fell down that freaking shaft while he was shooting Force Lightning.
Community service.
I mean, Samuel Jackson already fucked up his face.
Community service.
You've been a bad guy. Go pick up garbage.
He actually have
Garbage.
There's a parody of that where after like they show what happens to Palpatine after the Empire falls down and he's doing a bunch of jobs. I think it's like College Humor or something. And he always ends up. It looks like he's doing a good job, and then he fucking kills somebody. Like he's an air traffic control guy, and he's like, "You will find that the thing is not operational or whatever." And like, bam! Then he crashes into another ship. Like he didn't tell them to steer away from each other. He like sets up a doggy collar fence, and then it electrocutes the dog to death.
That's funny.
Just all kinds of crazy stuff.
So we're at the point in the movie now where they're trying to fix the gas, and we get the BB-8 thumbs up torch.
Yeah.
And again, just more love. There's nothing for love from me. You know, the one thing, and I'm going to say it and steal it a little bit, if you haven't figured out by now, listening to this, I am a giant Kevin Smith fan. I listen to all his podcasts. And the one thing that he always says, regardless of how the movie actually is, if during that movie you can make me feel like a little kid again, I'm sold.
Success.
And that's all this movie does to me. You know, I can't iterate enough how I literally do feel exactly the same of like that kid coming home and popping in that VHS and just like, these are my friends. Like, I know these guys. Like, I want to be a fucking Jedi so bad. And I'm 25 now. I think I saw it when I was 11-ish. So for at least 14 years now, every single day of my life, I have put up my hand and tried to move something with the Force just in case. Just in case it starts one day.
Today, man.
I did.
I picked up my drink
That was
and
funny.
he made the coaster stick to my
The
drink.
can stuck to the
swear.
coaster and he
You guys
looks
had to
over
see
and
it.
I'm
He
like
did it.
this.
I saw it with my own eyes, man.
That's why I feel like a superstar when I go to the convenience store because I always do like the swipe with my hand to make the doors open.
I still
like
do,
a real
too.
badass, even though I know
Yeah.
that it's not the Force.
Have you seen that
know?
video? It's so funny. It's a guy in the whole robe with the thing and he's hiding behind a pillar in a subway. And as the train pulls up, he hops out and goes like this and the doors open like they normally were. And there you go. And just walks away and everybody's, what?
I just let you out.
Yeah.
Initially, when you said Subway, I wasn't sure if you meant the sandwich place, and I was like, he just popped out of the bologna and was like, bam!
So again, I'm going to bring up in the movie right now, Han Solo came on. And I was talking, I had a fun movie theater. So when this came on, there was cheering for at least a good minute of yay! And it's funny because we all knew it was going to happen. It was one of the driving forces of the trailers before this movie came out. But
Pun
still,
intended.
he came out. Yeah, when he came out, the whole theater, you know, the same thing. Like, that one's garbage. The garbage is due. So when we first saw the Millennium Falcon, again, we got the heads, and it's just very nice. It's, you know, I like the culture that we're growing up in. Because before, I would never tell anybody that I ran home to pop in and watch Star Wars, you know. You know, it's nerdy. It was geeky. You know?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So now I just like it that we're living in the world where, fuck you guys. We're not hurting anybody. Let us sit in our movie theater and clap.
Like, if anything, I'd like, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Like, shut your fucking face.
And
I'm
this
going
is-
home to watch Star Wars.
Yeah. Another great callback where Daisy Ridley's like, this is Millennium Falcon, you're Han Solo, this is the ship that made the Parsec in 14 seconds, and he stops. 12. I don't know why when I talk like her, I just try to do my horrible British accent. It's just, I've got to stop.
When I talk like her, I sound like I'm on the IT crowd.
And yeah, we were talking too. Han Solo aged well. Like, good for you, Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
like,
man.
It looks like, yeah. And Chewie doesn't look like he aged at all. I wonder how it takes. How long?
He grays.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Old Chewbacca.
And so he doesn't keep, and so he doesn't keep aging. They just kill him off in this movie too.
Don't. He better not.
He gets a haircut.
Chewie
In the
Chewbacca.
next movie, he gets a mohawk.
Weren't you telling me something once? Doesn't Chewie have a kid who dies?
No, Chewie dies in the
Chewie
expanded.
did.
He dies in the
Who did he
expanded
procreate
universe.
with?
That one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's all another good reason they had to get rid of this. Because I need some Chewbacca, man. That's awesome.
I felt it was better for Chewbacca to die than Han Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, when he dies in this movie, I don't feel a goddamn thing.
Solo?
Solo.
You don't care?
I
Like,
was-
even when, like, he puts his hand on Ben's face and it's just like,
Too dramatic.
I'm like Han Solo, get the fuck out of there, Ben. Put your fucking mask back on. Let's get this going. Right.
That's gonna sound good.
that's how he high fives, too, man. Have you ever high fived
Oh,
Bob
yeah,
Hughes?
Bloody
Such a
hand.
mistake, I know. I'll never forget that day we were working and he just gave this speech similar to like the fucking opening of 300. And I'm on the bottom. We're going up and downstairs. He's on the taller one. I'm on the bottom. I put 2 out for a fucking low 5. So now he's not only fucking taller than me, hands above his head, and has 2 steps. All that fucking weight comes down and it hurt. I'll never high five you ever again.
I pictured him on a pallet of water. Like, this is truck day.
For some reason, Nick's up there, and I just kick him off.
No, you force pushed him.
Yeah. Han Solo, you're a dead man.
Okay, so
Yes.
now we're at the scene where he's meeting up with these other 2 smuggler like factions and shit. And when this movie was coming out, they were just dropping names left and right of who's going to be in it. And they mentioned the 2 dudes from if anybody's ever seen it, it's I think it's what is it?
The Raid and the Raid Redemption.
Yeah, it was the Raid Redemption. That's a what country is that in?
Is it Vietnam
No, not Vietnam.
or Thai?
I don't know. I don't remember the country for sure, but it's the 2 like main like actors in that movie that do like some of the most
These 2
badass
right here.
shit. Yeah, you think they like okay? I'm like, oh, I hear those names like, oh shit, they're about to do something awesome. Like one guy does all the
The guys
talking.
in the Conjure Club you're talking about? These 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like, they're sick martial artists. So when me and Bobby were like at work hearing all this stuff, we're like, fuck yeah, we're gonna get some fucking
Sick-
ninja Jedi type
Sick
shit.
martial artists and shit, but no, they just stand there. They
Show up and get
One
eaten
guy
by
says a
the
few
things
words.
with the eyes.
yeah,
The
well,
not
that's it.
Rancor monsters.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I just want to say before we get too far away from the scene that the guy who shows up from the initial faction, that shouldn't have been that guy with the accent that Nick was making fun of. It should have been Dolph Lundgren, the Russian dude from Rocky IV. That would have been a much better. Yeah. If
I
he
like-
die, he die.
I like too. Chewie gets some of the best moments in this. So like as Han is trying to discuss with these 2 guys on opposing ends of like, hey, come on, you know, how many times have I ever fucked you over? And the one guy goes, 1, 3, and it's like Chewie just kind of sits there and shakes his head like, yeah, we did kind of fuck him over a few times. I love it. And what are these monsters called? I mean, they're done well.
They're octopussies. That's what I call them.
They're fucking gross.
And now this is also the scene where we get the line, I have a bad feeling about this, which
Classic Han.
it's classic Star Wars. Now it's set in all 7 movies. So I wonder if they're going to do that for Rogue One.
What?
I
I have a bad feeling about this. Oh, fun fact too, because we are the Gluttons for Geekdom. Have you noticed that in every Marvel Phase 2 movie, somebody loses their left hand?
Phase
I did
2?
not notice that.
Yeah. So
What's
Guardians of the
what's a
Galaxy.
Phase 2 movie.
Well, yeah, everything after Avengers, but before. What's Phase 3 started with what? Like we're in Phase 4 now. That's what they call their blocking of movies.
Okay.
Sorry. So yeah, in Phase 2, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. Nebula cuts off her hand. Thor: Dark World. It looks like Loki cuts off Thor's hand, but it didn't actually happen. Iron Man 3. Aldrich Killian gets his left hand cut off. What else we got? What else was in Phase 2? But anyway, yeah, it's their kind of, hey, Star Wars, we're Marvel, we like you too, we're all owned by Disney now. Like, just a nice little
We're
Hey.
Force friends.
Yeah.
Rogue One, Donnie Yen though. He'll make up for these guys.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Old,
another
old Donald
guy.
Yen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they show him in like super dynamic pose in the trailer too. So fuck yeah.
So I
It
don't
looks like
know,
this is
are
going to
we
be a two-parter, guys. So join us again on the next episode of Gluttons for Geekdom.